We have so much to do today. We have a lot of things to get through. Here we are again. It is a windy day. There are many aeroplanes flying low over the house because there is a big aircraft festival taking place not very far away from where I live. Here we go then, we are back together again. What a busy few days I have had, and perhaps you have had as well. Here we go again. It is English Addict coming to you live and direct from the birthplace of the English language. You know where it is. I know where it is. Come on, Mr. Duncan. We're waiting. Please, get on with it. All right, calm down. Relax. Calm down. Everyone just take a deep breath, including me. That's better. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Do you have one of these on your face today? I really hope you do, because we are together once more for all those who love the English language, including me and perhaps you as well. We are here together again. My name is Mr. Duncan. You may have heard of me. Apparently, a lot of people now are finding me on the internet through artificial intelligence. Can you believe it? So a big welcome to all those who have found me on YouTube through many of the artificial intelligence websites that exist now. Lots of search engines, lots of databases where you can find all the information, and it would appear that a lot of people are finding me through ChatGPT, for example. A lot of people are discovering me. If my nose sounds a little bit blocked up, there is a reason, and the reason is because I am suffering slightly from my seasonal allergy. I decided to lie on the bed yesterday all day. I took lots of pills and things to make me feel better, so I had a lovely rest yesterday, and I don't feel too bad. I think I sound worse than I feel. So maybe to you it sounds as if I have a terrible cold, but I can assure you it is hay fever. Here we are then. It's a busy one. First of all, I will tell you the bad news. Or maybe it's good news, depending on your point of view. There is no Mr. Steve today. I know. Please, don't complain. It is Mr. Steve. He is busy at the moment rehearsing for a show that he is appearing in, so he won't be with us this week, unfortunately, and also it will be a shorter live stream today. It will not be 2 hours, so perhaps that will be good news. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot of hellos. We also have a birthday as well. Shall we do it now? Shall we do the birthday now? Is that all right? Happy birthday to Beatrice. Or should I say, happy birthday. It's your birthday today, Beatrice. Yes, Beatrice, happy birthday to you. I hope you are having a good time. And I hope you are enjoying your special day. And I can't believe, can I first of all say I can't believe that anyone would spend their birthday watching me on YouTube. I always find it amazing. So whatever you are doing today, Beatrice, I hope you have a super duper birthday. I really do hope you have a good time today. Also, talking of Beatrice, Beatrice is also first on today's live chat. People will say it's a fix. Mr. Duncan, you are fixing this. I am not. Check the live chat. It says Beatrice at the top. In second place, I'm having some lovely memories at the moment. Do you know what my memories are of? I will tell you later on. Also, yes, we have the one, the only. It was so much fun meeting you last week. Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back, and I hope you are sitting comfortably because we are going to relive some of the adventure we had. What adventure are you talking about, Mr. Duncan? Because we don't really know what you're going on about. Well, I will show you. This is what I was doing last week. I was abroad with Mr. Steve, also some of my lovely English addicts as well, because last week we had the big Paris rendezvous. And there it was, a few of the sights that I saw and you just saw during my time in Paris. Not only myself, but also Mr. Steve and lots of other English addicts. It's true. Can I say a big hello to those I met last week? We met a lot of people, some people who were just walking around the streets, who decided to stand and watch the live stream, which took place 1 week ago. So this time last week, I was actually standing in Paris. In fact, it was not just me. I had the whole group with me, and it was a rather interesting time, I will be honest with you. And there you can see me last week doing the live stream. I was in a rather lively mood. I think it's fair to say last week I was feeling very lively, just across from the Louvre, near a place called the Carrousel. In fact, the bridge, I kept calling the bridge the Louvre Bridge, but of course it isn't the Louvre Bridge. It is actually called the Carrousel Bridge. And there they are. Oh my goodness. So for those wondering, who are those people? There is Beatrice on the left. Then there is Luis Mendez behind me. And then there's Christina, Francesca, Mr. Steve, and of course me. We had the most amazing time last week. I have to say, it was good fun. And I enjoyed the sightseeing. We went to see lots of different places around Paris. I managed to live one of my childhood dreams last week as well. I will show you what that is all about in a few moments from now. So can I say a big thank you once again to the lovely English Addict family. We all met up last week. There they are. Once again, if you're wondering who Beatrice is, it's the lady in red at the front. There is Beatrice, who happens to be today's birthday girl. So we had the most amazing time last week. Thanks to all those who got in touch, and of course Mr. Steve was with me as well. We did go to see a few of the landmarks in Paris, and I got to visit a place that I've always wanted to go to since I was a child. Mr. Steve and myself, we went along to the Orangery, which is a museum that was specially built to display the works of Claude Monet, his rather large masterpieces that he entitled Water Lilies. Simple as that. And I was able to live my childhood dream for years and years and years. I have wanted to visit this particular place and stand in front of those wonderful giant paintings. And last week I did just that. There I am, staring. I was there for a very long time. Can I just let you in on a secret? I didn't want to leave. And I was so emotionally overcome by the experience. I almost cried. That's how much it meant to me. And of course, as I mentioned, Mr. Steve was also with me as well, looking rather confused, not quite sure why I am so excited by all this, although he did say he felt a slight tingle of excitement when he saw the paintings. So perhaps Mr. Steve is an art lover after all. And of course there is me looking very pleased because I finally got to live my big dream of seeing Monet's water lilies for real. As I mentioned a few moments ago, we did meet up with the English addicts, and there he is. For those wondering, there is the man who every week gets the big welcome, Luis Mendez, and me as well. And I suppose I should finish with this photograph of all of us together. Once again, from the left, it is me. Then we have Luis. Then Francesca. Mr. Steve is at the back. Then Christina. By the way, thank you very much for your lovely gifts. Also Beatrice as well at the front, who is the birthday girl today, the star of today's live stream, because it is her birthday. And that is it, really. That is all I have to say for now about the English Addict Rendezvous, which took place last week. However, there is still one thing, or one group of things that I have to show you right now. First of all, Francesca, I still don't know what these are and why you gave them to me, but thank you anyway. So here we have the poison. It says poison on there. I don't quite know why. And on there it says the antidote. So I assume that these are for making coffee in. Maybe little espresso coffee cups. I think so. So I think that's what these are. These are actually for making espresso coffee. So one of them says poison and the other one says antidote. Of course, the poison is the thing that makes you unwell, and the antidote is the cure. So we often use the word antidote to mean cure, the cure for something. And yes, I have more gifts. Thank you very much for your lovely gifts that I received last week in Paris. Let's have a look. Oh, I had a wonderful gift from Christina. Thank you, Christina, for your lovely book all about Genoa, the place you live. And already I've started reading it. And there are some very interesting facts in there and some information, some historical information about this wonderful Italian coastal town, a wonderful place. Also, I received something else from Christina also I received this lovely little gold coin. And if you look very closely, you can see, maybe, it might be too small, I'm not sure, but there is the Mona Lisa. So a small coin commemorating Mona Lisa, the lady with the enigmatic smile. Why is she smiling? What is she so happy about, I wonder? So thank you. I like the sound it makes. I'm easily pleased, you see. Also, thank you very much to Beatrice. Beatrice also gave me a very interesting gift. Some lovely socks. But these are no ordinary socks. These particular socks are actually made from a special type of wool. The wool from the alpaca, a very interesting animal. They look rather like llamas. So I always think that alpacas look a little bit like llamas. And this is some of the wool from an alpaca. It's very soft. It's very soft and smooth. And I would imagine If you wear these on your feet during the winter months, they will keep your feet very warm indeed. Isn't that lovely? They are absolutely lovely. And it says there, alpaca wool. You might not be able to see it because my lights are too bright. Let's see if I can. Yes, I think. There we go. Yes, I think we can just about see it. Alpaca. Alpaca wool. Thank you, Beatrice. Not one pair of socks, but 2 pairs of socks. Thank you very much. I will be wearing those during the winter months, which are not very far away. Also, something else here. I can't remember what this is, by the way. I can't remember. So many things happened last week. I can't remember everything that happened, which is one of the reasons why I filmed so many moments of time. Oh yes, I remember what this is now. It's a little bird. Now it looks like a robin, but I don't think it is. And what you are supposed to do is fill the bird with water, and then you blow in there, and it makes the sound of a bird. Tastes strange. I don't know where it's been. It's probably best not to put your mouth around the back end of a bird when you think about it. That's better. Thank you, Beatrice, for your lovely gifts. Christina, and also Francesca, for your lovely gifts. Also for your lovely donation as well. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And it all goes to help this to continue for as long as I can do it. So for as long as there is breath in my body and the blood is going around my veins, I promise I will carry on doing this for as long as I can. Thank you very much. Oh, also we have some of that lovely plastic as well that you can pop. Oh, okay. I think Beatrice has already popped this. I bought myself a gift last week as well. I bought some little placemats featuring the works of Claude Monet. There we go. Isn't that lovely? So this particular painting is one of his many water lily paintings, but this one, of course, shows the famous bridge in his garden in Giverny. Giverny, it's a very nice place to visit. There we go. Some classic Monet there on some placemats. So I decided to buy these as well to remind me of our lovely time in Paris. Amazing. What a wonderful time we had. Thank you very much to all those who travelled, all those who watched, and even some French residents, some Paris residents. They often refer to themselves as Parisians. Parisian, it's a great word. A Parisian is a person who lives in Paris. And of course, a French person is a person who lives in France. I am English, which means I live in England. Thank you very much for what all I can say is it was the most amazing time. And will we do it again? I don't know at the moment. I can't answer that question, I'm afraid. Normally at this time, we will be saying hello to Mr. Steve, but there is no Mr. Steve today, unfortunately. He is busy right now preparing his show that he's doing later this month. So unfortunately, Steve is not with us today. They say that life is sometimes unfair. They say that life can be difficult sometimes. Other people say that life is not always a bowl of cherries. It is a great expression. We often talk about life not always being a bowl of cherries. So if we describe that particular phrase, we are saying that life is not always fair. Life cannot always be smooth and straight. Sometimes there will be sudden obstacles in your way. Sometimes there are things that you must overcome, things that you have to push through, difficulties. A great word that I love is adversity. When we talk about adversity, we are talking about difficulty, things that might get in the way of your plans. And of course, life can't always be a bowl of cherries. Sometimes things might be difficult. Sometimes things go wrong. There might be problems and difficulties. Life has its ups and downs, and its moments when things do not go right. I think so. The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. That means that whatever you plan, however carefully you plan that particular thing, you might find there will be problems, difficulties. Something might go wrong. There will be bumps in the road as you travel along. Things don't always go according to plan. You can't always have an easy life. In fact, I would say if you have an easy life, perhaps you also have a dull life or a boring life. So sometimes when you want excitement, when you want adventure, there will often be problems. Those unexpected problems can be described as adversities, adversity, difficulty, a problem that you must overcome. And I think it is an important lesson for all young people if they are growing up and they have no idea of what real life is like. And let's face it, a lot of young people these days seem to expect everything to be given to them without any effort being put towards those things. So I think it is a very valuable lesson to find out at an early age that life is unfair. It can be difficult. Sometimes things don't go the way you plan. We often describe adversity as difficulty, something that is unforeseen. Most problems in life come along and they are unexpected. You didn't know they were going to happen. A period of trouble or hardship can be described as adversity. There might be a period in your life when things don't go right. I've had a lot of that in my life, in my young life, in my midlife. But slowly things even out. You often find that your path or the road that you are going to follow in your life is not always clear when you are young. However, with all of the experience that you gather in your young years, you find quite often that the road will appear. It will be there. We all have to follow our own paths in life, to be honest. So a period of trouble or hardship can be described as adversity. Expecting things to always go right is a mistake. That should be taught to everyone at a young age. Expecting things to always go right is a mistake. Nothing ever goes without a hitch occurring somewhere. When we talk about something being a hitch, normally it is something that gets in the way, something that stops you from moving forward, some sort of difficulty, a problem, something that is preventing you from moving forward. There is a slight hitch. There is a problem. There is something in the way. And I think, and I will say it again, expecting things in life to always go well or to always go smoothly is quite a big mistake to make. After all, life can't always be a bowl of cherries. Sometimes there will be problems, there will be difficulties, and there will be moments where things do not go right. It is part of life. English Addict is with you today. We are floating by. We are going through the sky. We are drifting away. At least I am. I am drifting away to the sound of that music. I want to float away in a balloon. I feel as if I'm floating away right now, to be honest with you. English Addict is with you today. Thank you very much for joining me. We are talking all about feet. In a few moments from now, feet. I know what you're thinking, Mr. Duncan. What a strange thing to talk about. That is very weird. So, Get ready to rumble. We are going to talk about feet in a few moments from now. Can I say hello to Lamis? Hello to Lamis. Also, we have JC Geordie here today on Copacabana Beach. Isn't that lovely? I'm sure you're having a great time there. Also here today, Vitas. I think I forgot to say hello to Vitas, so I will say hello to you right now. Compartisan is here as well. Thank you very much for your lovely hearts. Isn't that nice? Ong Trum is here also on the live chat. And Florence is here as well. Florence. Mr. Duncan, please don't talk about the cold weather. I will try not to. I will say one thing. Last week in Paris, it was so hot. One of the days last week, it was almost 35 degrees. And we were walking around Paris in the midday heat. The sun was blazing down. It was really, really hot. I will be honest with you. Thank you very much for joining me. So many people saying hello. Hello to you all. I can't say hello to everyone because then I would spend the rest of this hour saying hello to everyone. How are your feet today? Are they okay? Are your feet feeling good? Are they comfortable? Or maybe they are all painful and smelly. Who knows? I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't really want to find out, if I was completely honest with you. Today we are looking at feet. Foot and feet. Words and phrases. And there are many words and phrases relating to those things at the end of your legs, your feet. First of all, we will look at the singular word foot. The word foot can be used in many different ways. For example, the end of something or the lowest point on which something stands is foot. So we often use the word foot to describe part of an object, normally the part that supports the rest of the thing. The word foot can be used in many different ways, such as the foot of the stairs. We often say that a person is standing at the foot of the stairs. So when we say that, we are saying the lowest point. The lowest point of the stairs is the foot. A person might stand at the bottom or at the foot of the stairs, the lowest point, or maybe the first step on the stairs. Then we have the foot of the bed. We often refer to the end of the bed, quite often where your feet will go. So the other end of the bed is where your head goes. The opposite is the foot. So when we say the foot of the bed, we are describing the end of the bed, the end where your feet sometimes stick out the end. I often find that if I stay at a friend's house or if we stay somewhere, quite often the beds will be too short and quite often my feet will stick out at the end of the bed because my legs are so long and my feet are so big. It is true. Moving on, we can also have something called a footnote. Footnote is an added piece of informational text. So the information that is added at the end of something, you might have to add some extra information or maybe some information that is put after the main part. So footnote is something that is often mentioned after the main subject has finished. We describe it as a footnote. We might use the phrase footfall. Now this is a very interesting word. We often use this in business, certain types of business where people will go to your premises or your business, such as a shop. So quite often we use the word footfall to describe the number of people going into a place. Quite often a shop, or maybe a shopping centre where lots of people will go in and buy things. So when we talk about footfall, we are talking about the number of people who go in to a certain place. Normally a business, quite often a shop. We might describe a hill as having a foot. The foot of a hill, the lowest point of a hill. And of course you have the opposite, which is the summit. The summit is the high point. The foot is the lowest point. You start at the foot of the hill and you climb up to the summit, to the top. So quite often we will describe the lowest point of a hill as the foot. A foot can be the lower support of an object, as I mentioned earlier. For example, we might have the feet of a chair. So sometimes we describe those parts as the legs of a chair. The legs. Sometimes we describe them as the feet as well, the support of a large object. Or maybe a bed. Quite often a bed will have feet supporting the main part. We can use the word foot singularly. We are saying 1 foot. 1 foot. Single. Plural, feet. 1 foot, 2 feet. Quite often we will use the plural when we are talking about a person, because most people have 2 feet. If you are very lucky, you will have 2 feet. Not everyone is lucky enough to have 2 feet. Some people only have 1 foot. And it does cause 1 or 2 problems. So the foot is the flexible limb at the base of the leg. We often describe the foot as being flexible. It can move around. Also, it is responsible for us standing up and keeping our balance. Would you like to know some of the parts of the foot? Oh, Mr. Duncan, we really would. First of all, we have the ankle. As you can see, the ankle is the joint between the leg and the foot. A lot of people, when they fall over or if they have an accident, quite often they will break their ankle. It is a fragile, vulnerable part of your leg. It is the part that joins the leg to the main part of the foot. Then we have the heel. Can you see it? The heel is at the back of your foot. Quite often people will get pain or discomfort in their heel. Then of course we have the bottom of your foot, which is called the sole. And behind your large toe, we describe that part as the ball. The ball of your foot is the bone at the back of your big toe. Would you like to have a look inside your foot? Well, we're going to do that as well. There are lots of parts, lots of small bones inside your foot. We have your tarsus, which are the bones of the ankle. Then we have the metatarsus, which are the bones between the ankle and the toes. And then we have, I love this word, by the way. I think this word is great. We have your phalanges. Mr. Duncan, that sounds rude. It isn't. Phalanges refers to the tiny bones in your toes and also in your fingers as well. So the bones in your fingers and the bones in your toes are referred to as phalanges. I have to say I'm being rather technical today. Moving on. Oh, toes. They are so annoying. I think feet can be very annoying. They can. You have your little toe, then you have your average toes in the middle, and at the other end, quite often you have your big toe. The big toe is the daddy of all the toes, and the little toe is the one that we often find annoying, especially when you want to cut the nail on your little toe. I think cutting your toenails is the hardest thing in the world, especially when you get older. As you get older, you find it harder and harder to cut your toenails. It becomes much harder, and the worst one is your little toe. Your little toenail is the worst part of your body to try and trim, because you can't see it, you can't get to it. It's so tiny. It's a waste of time. Your little toenail is a waste of time. Then we have lots of foot phrases. There are many foot phrases that we can use in English. For example, we can say, get your foot through the door, which means gain access to an opportunity with a positive future. Sometimes it is good to get your foot through the door. You are trying to find an opportunity, and when you do, you should get your foot through the door. You should make sure that you take that opportunity, because you don't know where it will lead. It might lead to something amazing, something fantastic, something incredible. To get your foot through the door. Of course, sometimes you might put your foot in your mouth. To put your foot in your mouth means to say something foolish, something stupid. You might say something and you realise that thing you just said was a mistake. It was something you should not have said. We can say that you have put your foot in your mouth. You've said the wrong thing. Maybe you've offended someone. You've upset someone by what you said. We can express that by saying that you've put your foot in your mouth. To say something foolish or inappropriate. Do you like dancing? Some people are very good at dancing. Other people are not very good at dancing. They often describe themselves as having 2 left feet. If you have 2 left feet, it means you are expressing the lack of control or coordination in one's movement. Quite often, when they are trying to dance, we can say that they have 2 left feet. In other words, they are not very good at dancing. They have 2 left feet. Another foot phrase. Here we go. Another foot phrase. To foot the bill. If you have to foot the bill, it means you have to pay for that particular thing. To be responsible for paying for something, you must foot the bill. So maybe one person will buy a meal for everyone else at the table. One person will foot the bill. I will take you all for a meal, and I will foot the bill. So if you foot the bill, it means you pay for it. You pay that bill. You are the one who must pay for that particular thing. To find your feet. This is a nice positive one. I love positive phrases. I don't like negative phrases normally, but this is a lovely positive phrase. To find your feet. Adjust to a new job or a thing you have just begun. You need to find your feet. It means you have to take a period of time to adjust to your new environment. Perhaps you start a new job. Maybe you are learning a new skill that you've never done before. You have to find your feet. To find your feet. To adjust to a new experience. You are finding your way. Finding your feet. This one, now sometimes I feel like this. Yesterday I felt like this because I was suffering with my allergies, my seasonal allergies. Yesterday I felt as if I had 1 foot in the grave. To have 1 foot in the grave means to appear or behave in a sick or unwell state. You appear ill. You look unwell. You look as if you have 1 foot in the grave. You look as if you have only a short time left to live because you appear to be unwell. For example, if you are under the weather, maybe you have a cold or a fever. Oh, I feel dreadful. I feel dreadful. I feel as if I've got 1 foot in the grave. There is also a very funny TV show made in England with the same title. Can I say hello, Marcia? Hello, Marcia. It's nice to see you here today. Thank you for joining. You might put your best foot forward. By the way, we are talking about foot and feet phrases. To show your abilities and confidence whilst doing those particular things. Something you are good at. Maybe a certain ability. Maybe you have a lot of confidence doing something. You have to put your best foot forward. You want to make a good impression. You want to impress people, to make them feel happy and excited. You put your best foot forward. It is time for me to put my best foot forward. Here's another phrase. To set foot in a place. You set foot in. To enter a place or go into a certain place. You set foot. Perhaps you visit another country. You set foot in that place. As you arrive, as you get off the plane, you set foot in that place. Don't you ever set foot in my house again. set foot, go into, enter a place. You set foot. You might step or tread on someone's toes. It is a common expression we use to spoil the plans or annoy another person by your actions. Quite often you will get in another person's way. You might prevent them from doing something. You might step on their toes. Try not to step on anyone's toes whilst you are here. And it does happen sometimes. I remember when I went to China to teach English, a lot of people became annoyed at me. Mostly other English teachers, because my arrival in China caused many problems for other people because I started taking their work from them. I didn't want to, but many schools, many people wanted me to help them and work for them and do all sorts of things. So you might say that when I went to China, I started to step on other people's toes. But I didn't want to. It wasn't my intention. It was just the fact that a lot of people wanted my services. I can't help it. It's not my fault. Please don't shout at me. A person who is medically trained. Oh, foot doctors. A doctor who is trained to take care of your feet is often described as a podiatrist. Podiatrist is a person who takes care of your feet. It does seem strange that there are many, many problems that can occur with your feet. All sorts of problems. You might have pain. Maybe your toes are always aching or they hurt. Sometimes you might find that they turn blue, which is never good, by the way. If your feet ever turn blue for any reason, it's never good. It's always a sign of something serious happening. So a person who takes care of your feet, a doctor, a trained medical professional, we describe them as a podiatrist. It's a great word. The word foot derives from the German Fuß and further derives from pod. So quite often you will find some words will evolve over time from other expressions or other roots. So I think foot is a very good example. So quite often in German the word Fuß is used. In fact, I think that's the reason why in the USA they have that popular game where you play football on the table. And it's called Fußball. Oh, Mr. Duncan, we didn't know that. So the word pod is the root of the word foot. And quite often we still use that word nowadays to describe certain things. For example, in my studio, I have lots and lots of tripods. Tripod. It's a very useful thing. If you are a filmmaker or a photographer, quite often you will find these things in a person's studio. I have many, many tripods in my studio supporting the cameras, the lights, the microphones, everything. I use a lot of tripods in my studio. The word tripod basically means 3 feet or 3 foot. That the feet of the object normally comes in threes, hence try. So basically try means 3. Pod means foot. That particular thing has 3 feet. And that is why we call them tripods. I hope you've enjoyed our journey into the world of feet. It is a part of the human body that many people never talk about. Never. And to be honest with you, I don't like my feet. I always think that my feet are a little bit too big. I don't like them. Even Mr. Steve thinks my feet look very funny indeed. A lot of people joining. Can I say hello to Johnson? Hello to you. Also, who else is here? Palmyra is here as well. Marilda is here also. A lot of people are here. Ong Trum has an interesting phrase using toes. A person might walk on their tiptoes. If you are walking along a certain place, maybe you don't want to make any sounds. Maybe you want to walk silently. If you are trying to walk silently without making any noise, we say that you walk on your tiptoes. You are being very careful not to make any noise whilst you are walking. Good one. I like that phrase. It's a very nice phrase. Thank you, Johnson, watching in Tanzania. You might be the first person ever from Tanzania watching me. Great. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. Apologies once again, there is no Mr. Steve because he's busy. He's got a show coming up and he will be absent not only today but also next Sunday as well. I will be back with you next Sunday. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. It's been great. We've had a lot to talk about. We talked about Paris. We talked about Beatrice and her birthday. We also had a look at life. Is life fair? Do you expect life to be fair all the time? Maybe it is a mistake if you do. Thank you very much. Thank you, Din Hui, who says, I am watching you at the moment in Vietnam. Hello, Vietnam. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate all of your messages. Before I go, I will tell you now there are lots of new lessons on my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked my YouTube channel, there are lots of different types of lesson on my channel for you to watch. Many useful lessons, and next week there will be some new lessons that I filmed in Paris. So there will be some English lessons on my YouTube channel next week that I filmed whilst I was in Paris. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. It's been interesting for me, and I hope it has been interesting and useful to you as well. Thank you very much. Thank you, Beatrice. I hope you have a great day. Thank you also to Nessar. Thank you, Nessar, for joining me. Also, thank you, Vitas. Thank you very much to Luis Mendez as well. Thank you very much. I will be back with you next Sunday with you live from 2 p.m. UK time. And there will be lots of English lessons for you to enjoy during the week. I promise that. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you soon. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care. Keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. And I will see you very soon. And of course, it's been fun today. I've enjoyed myself, even though I feel a little bit tired. Ta-ta for now.